Hello, everybody. Today, I have a question for you. Have you ever had a problem with the presence that you've given off during your speeches? Maybe the audience isn't paying attention to you or doesn't respect you during your speeches? Well, I have three main topics that can help you on this point. Them being gestures, body language, and eye contact. Me, during this speech, as I list these three topics off, it'll help you have a professional presence during your speeches with the information that I'll be giving. One last thing is the credibility. The credibility I have gained to speak on this topic is through the last week of research that I've done on these three main topics. And let's get right into it. The first thing is gestures. This is the main thing during your speeches. It will add a bunch of flair and it'll show that you're actually interested into your topics. It'll give something for your audience to watch and keep their mind going while they're watching you and as you give your speech. There is a bunch of great things with having gestures during your speeches, but there are do's and don'ts. With some don'ts are three positions that you might end up having repeated or going into during your speeches. One being like a death grip. This is done when people are at a podium or a stand while giving their speech with something in front of them that they can grip onto, and if they grip onto it hard enough, their speakers will look, their audience, not the speakers, the audience will look at them and they'll see how tense they are with their grip on the podium. Maybe their knuckles are getting white, and it's just not a good look, and you won't have any gestures to go off because you'll be in that one stance and you'll look frightened or tense as you give your speech, which isn't the type of it'll show that you might not be credible, or you're just not in the right mindset to give a speech. And another one would be, say your hair is getting in your face and you keep moving it all back, or your sleeve is rolling down. It's something that you keep on repeating, and it gets repetitive, which is not something you want with gestures. You want to have a variety of them to like list off, and if done right, it will look invisible to the audience, but it'll show that you have confidence in your speech. But if done wrong with the don'ts that I listed off, it'll show that you're scared, frightened, and that your audience might not take you serious. But do's would be whatever comes naturally, like how I did with listing things off. I went like 1, 2, 3. It's something that would come naturally with the words, and it would reflect what you are talking about. But the second topic is eye contact, another very important topic. And with this, it'll also show your confidence and credibility. It'll improve it and uphold what you've said at the start of your speech to your audience. There are certain things that you don't want to do with false information, being like stare above people constantly in one certain area. You want to have a variety and go over everybody in the room, giving everybody at least 5 seconds of eye contact. It'll make the audience feel like they're each individually getting a speech and that you care about them. And with giving eye contact, it'll show that you really think the information that you're giving is important to them and that you want to give it to them. And that is a very vital part of speech, with eye contact, because if you don't give it, as I said, it'll just not show. It'll show that you're scared, and your audience may think that you're not at a high enough GPA or intelligence to even talk on the topic, and they'll be wondering why you're talking on that topic. But next topic, would be body language, the third and final. For this one, it's a matter of being big and taking up space to show that you're dominant and the person that is in charge and speaking. If you're reclused and like only stay in one spot, like I said with the podium, if you just take up one spot and if you take up one spot and you're just tense and your body language is reclused, it'll show that you don't feel like you're in the right mindset to give the speech, and you want to show that you're confident in what you're saying. With being less dominant during your speeches, it comes less respect from the audience, and you want to be shown that you have the confidence to say the speech that you've prepared to do. Without that, it just you got to come onto the stage looking like you're prepared. It'll be the main thing. These three topics are very important though. With what I just said about these three topics, it's the main three topics, as I said: gestures, body language, and eye contact. These three will show that it'll answer the question that I said at the start with if you're having any problems. If you practice these three, practice makes perfect. You're not going to be insanely amazing at eye contact, because some people are just terrible at it, and it's not a problem. It's something that you can fix and get more confident with body posture and body language. If you just practice with broadening your shoulders and bringing your arms and shoulders back with better posture, it slowly looks like you have more confidence, and it'll bring more confidence to yourself as well. And lastly was gestures. These come naturally with the other two. As you get more confident, you'll want to explain what you're doing, and just think about it during your speeches, like, okay, what did I say? I want to include a gesture that goes along with that. And with these three topics, hopefully it improves your presence during your speeches. And thank you for listening. Have a good day.